Here at Motorcycle.com, we're not only fans of improving rider skill through training at the racetrack, we're also fans of anything that makes that training accessible to more riders from more types of riding disciplines. For those of you that have seen our very own Troy Seahound's review of the 2019 Husqvarna FS 450 Supermoto, as well as our coverage of the UMRA 24-hour mini bike race, you know we morons are also big fans of the accessibility, low cost, and relative low speeds of taking a small, lightweight motorcycle to your local karting track. So with that, we jumped at the chance to check out the new SoCal Supermoto rental and rider training program called Live 100%. What's up, Motorcycle.com viewers? I'm normally behind the camera. I'm Sean Matich. I'm the video content producer at Motorcycle.com. Today, I got lucky enough to get a little chance to not only get in front of the camera, but also do a little riding. We're here in Paris, California, at the Apex karting track, and we're with Jamil Sakri from Live 100% Supermoto Rentals and School. Jamil's going to take me out, and we're going to do a little riding on some 2019 Husqvarna FS 450s. Very nice. We're also in some good, fast company. I don't know if you can see the young gentleman behind us, but we've got three guys from Moto America. You want to introduce some of your clients and students here today?
Absolutely. So, hey everybody. So we're having today three road racers from Moto America: Toby, Ashton Yett, and Jackson Blackman. They came train today at Apex Racing Center before the starting season at Moto America.
So for those that don't know, why is a road racer going to come and ride a supermoto bike?
I mean, it's basically just getting some getting back the feeling, because they've not been riding since a couple of months probably, because it was an off season. So supermoto, it's kind of the best way to get back on track, to get some feeling back from long waiting away.
Those of you in the rest of the country probably don't feel very sorry for us, but I'm going to say we've had a long wet week here in Southern California. We were not used to it during our winter, so I've had a little time away from the track too. So later, Jamil is going to go out with me on one of the or two of the FS 450s, and to see if he can give me some pointers with my riding as well. So let's go get suited up, do some laps, let the young guns do their laps and get their training in, and we'll come back a little later and talk about the bikes and the school. All right, sounds good.
Let's go, kids.
What's up, guys? My name's Toby Kamsuk. I'm 16 years old, and then for the 2019 season I'll be riding in Moto America Junior Cup. This is going to be my third year racing professional. It's good that Live 100% is doing something like this, because off track you need training, so this is a perfect way to train when you don't have a bike or anything, or your bike's somewhere else. This is a really good way.
So how does riding a supermoto on a kart track prepare and help you, for your road racing on I assume it's a 400 or close to a 400 you're racing normally in Moto America?
Yeah. Well, first it's physical, because these things are pretty physical out here in the kart track, flipping from side to side, and the power too. Also mental, to keep you mentally there, like to kind of warm up your brain and kind of that sort of thing. Going to a road race track, it's harder because you have to wait for a track day. It's less accessible than the kart track because a kart track's so close. So that's one of the main things why kart tracks, you see like riders like Marc Marquez and Danny Pedrosa, they all practice in the kart track.
And also, you forgot to mention, when I'm filming, I have much less distance to run after you guys to get a good shot, right?
Yeah, you don't have to go you don't have to run across the track. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Well, good luck this season, 2019 in Moto America. We'll be looking out for you.
Hey, I'm Jackson Blackman from Rock Hill, South Carolina. So I'll be racing this year in the Moto America Junior Cup Series and the Twins Cup. Yeah, so it's super cool to come out today and spend a few weeks in California, and being from South Carolina, of course, don't have all my gear with me. And so it's really cool what they're doing with having the bikes out here and accessible and on most any weekend to come out and ride without having to worry about all your own gear. and for guys who don't have bikes and want to try out some Supermoto or do a little bit of training. And they're super cool bikes.
You don't have to worry about transporting a bike cross country or convincing one of your competitors that lives in Southern California to let you beat on his bike. The only logistic, you just come out here with your helmet, your leathers, and show up and ride the bike, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds good. And this young gentleman at the end?
Yeah, I'm Ashton Yates from Milledgeville, Georgia. My dad was a 5-time AMA National Road Racing Champion. Never Superbike championship, but like I think it was like 2 or 3 750 championships and a couple of Super Sport championships, maybe a Super Stock 1000 championship somewhere in there. But yeah, I've been doing this forever, just about. So I was like 3. I grew up doing like motocross stuff until I was about 11 or 12, and that's when I started Supermoto. I really enjoy Supermoto, and it's what I do for training all the time. And actually, back home, we're by the Herring compound, and I go out there like every other week just to train, and Josh Herring whenever he's home. And, so I've been doing it forever, and I couldn't imagine life without it, honestly. I enjoy it almost more than road racing on the big circuit. So to me, it seems like a miniature version of the larger tracks, like on a 1000. Say you're on a big track on a 1000, 450 on the go-kart track's pretty much the same thing to me, and I keep at it, and I feel like it could help with just skill level on 1000s on the big tracks.
So Ashton, you said you've been doing Supermoto since you're 12. What bike do you ride, and how does it compare to the FS 450?
Yeah, I have, I think it's a 2012 RMZ 450. It's just about everything's been modded. It's pretty much a Yosh by Yosh engine. But when I hopped on the Husqvarna, just bone stock, the Husqvarna immediately pretty much handled just as good or even better, and had better tires too. But it's pretty crazy how the Husqvarna, how the first impression was, I guess, compared to my bike. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get one pretty soon.
The 100% Supermoto score is a turnkey race team.
So your job is to take care of them, and they only have to worry about the riding, and you handle everything else, essentially?
Absolutely, we do all things. We set up the bike, suspension.
Someone can actually show up with no bike and no canopy, no tire warmers or anything, rent a bike from you, and you take care of everything else on a race day?
Absolutely, they're all gonna show up with their riding gears, and then they're ready to go.
When I first went out there, I was trying to take it easy. Like you said, I didn't want to risk anything, but once I did a few laps, it was crazy the confidence that I got. And I just had that feeling, like, the feeling you get when you almost can't fall down and you can ride hard all day. That's what it felt like, so I just ripped around.
Yeah, about crashing, today Toby just had a little low side crash, but nothing bad.
Yeah, had a little get down, a little low side. There was a wet spot on the track, and I tucked the front, and then I was trying to save it, but it didn't work. So, but yeah, I just like to thank the crash protection for helping the bike be safe.
This is the coolest things about Supermoto. Even if anyone crashed like Toby did today, there's no major damage on the bike, so it doesn't cost that much, to fix it. Rider can jump on a bike and then ride again, and so cost less and more pleasure.
Yeah.
You gotta help a little bit the sliding situation with your hips, which is both. As soon as when you lock the bike, you gotta push it a little bit and laying a bit the bike down, so you want to keep the bike too straight. Hold the clutch, 3 or 4 gears down, off the clutch. And you will be controlling all the weight. You're gonna put it more on the front, so you're gonna have a full control only with the front wheels. The rear wheels will be locking up and smoothly spinning.
After doing my best to absorb Jamil's instructions, I got a front row seat to how a pro-level racer backs a Supermoto bike into a corner on the brakes. That was my turn to demonstrate how much of my lesson and knowledge I could actually translate into riding technique. Yeah, at first attempt, not a whole lot. I was starting to feel like a newbie as I tried to incorporate a new technique and make it part of my own style. After a few attempts, I was finally able to get a bit of a skid going, but coming out of the corner, I was about 3 bike lengths behind Toby, as you can see from this overlay. I still have to learn to carry more speed and lean to really do the technique justice. But hey, a skid's a skid, right?
Woo! A little sweaty. Well, it was a great learning experience for me, just how, these Supermoto bikes and the accessibility to tracks and the bikes themselves and the cost is a great training tool for all different kinds of riders. You could come from a dirt background, you could be kind of more of a track day guy like me, or you could be competing for a national championship like the 3 young gentlemen we met earlier. It was a lot of fun trying to learn how to back it in. Still not quite there with you guys yet, but...
I saw a couple of rotation. You did pretty good, for a beginner. Beginner on a back it in.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm a beginner at that.
You're not a beginner at all. So yeah, that was a pretty good tentation for the first time. You just gotta need more speed to create the sliding. It's gonna come. Just gonna need more like seat time on the bike, and then more laps, and then it's gonna come someday, soon. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward already to my next session out here on Apex Kart Track. So for anyone that wants to rent one of your bikes or get some training, or even possibly do a local race like the War Series or some of the other series that run here in California, or even the AMA series with you as well, is that correct?
Absolutely, that's one of our program. Actually, the AMA series is going to start very soon, probably like in a month or 2. We have a big race coming in April. It's at State Line in Nevada, which is like one of the biggest race in the US. Yeah, I'm looking forward to promote this race and then to host this race. We're having a couple of racers coming from Europe. So the AMA are going to be hosting big racers, and one of the best in the world coming to the US very soon. Now hopefully Live 100% going to be part of it. That's what we try to do. We try to push the Supermoto to the next level. That's one of the reasons why I'm bringing this program, to give the opportunity to other riders to ride technical bike and high-end bike, which is one of the best bikes in the world.
I get what you're saying. I definitely noticed that it's one of those bikes you just jump on and you feel at home right away. You don't have to take half a day to acclimate. It's not a unusual bike or a tricky bike to ride. No. Now, what about someone that just wants to kind of come and, they're more of a track day fan than like a hardcore racer? Is Live 100% also a place for them to look at?
The slippery clutch is something I've never ridden with, and wow, it makes it easy backing in turns. Getting saucy out there.
Yeah,
like, hearing the back wheel screech, I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it like covers you when you're doing it right, and it covers you when you overdo it too. Because one time I overdid it, and it's like, I got you.
We're offering like different packages, which is just a basic rental for pro riders who doesn't need, to learn the basic techniques. They just kind of rent it out. They have everything set up. Everything is prepared for them. It's like a turnkey race team. They don't have to carry anything. Just bring the gears, helmet, gloves, and they're good to go. We got a second program, which is we're offering for the same price the bike rental and coaching with a group of people, including beverage, snacks, and pretty soon some hats and t-shirts.
So we're winding up our day here at Apex Kart Track, but some of the riders are still here, like Toby. This wasn't your first time, you were saying, riding a Supermoto, was it?
No, actually, last time it was with the same company, Live 100%.
What do you think of it as a sport and as a training tool for riding sport bikes on the racetrack for racing?
I feel like in the training aspect, it's definitely physically demanding. It's like similar to road racing because you're on tarmac and you have to know when to pick up the bike and how much rear front brake you use and how you put the bike into the corner, where you set up and everything. So I feel like physically and mentally there's a lot going on with both, but they're pretty similar in a way.
He threw some laps with me. I was just sticking on my butt for the whole time. I have nothing to say about that, just being killing it. I think Moto America being like a...
Well, I think you're hitting onto something. A lot of American fans, racing fans, love to watch
MotoGP, and we're used to seeing these Italians and Spanish riders kind of dominate for the most part. And you know, America used to be on the top in the world road racing scene, and maybe a little less so in the last few years. But the accessibility, I think, of the Supermoto and the kart tracks, as well as the mini riding on the kart tracks, is a great way, you know, to start with the young racers and help grow them so they can get that skill set, they can get that track time to grow as a racer and to potentially go on to national or world championship levels.
I think so, yeah. I mean, those kids, they're just the future of the motorcycle. They're the one pushing hard, you know, all the manufacturer. I see those new generation, they've been like a little bit too crazy compared to the old school, you know, riders, and they get some skills. I'm looking forward to have kids like that, like Toby and, you know, Ashton Yet, using our facility. That can be a good opportunity for the sport to grow.
Having access, especially in Southern California, where we got, for the most part, except for this last week where we had a lot of rain, it's mostly sunshine year-round, so it's a great place to come train for these young athletes.
I'm all into extreme sports, surfing, stand-up paddleboard, surfing, and motocross, but Supermoto is like the key of like hybrid technique between motocross, enduro, and road race in one simple sport. It's a lot of fun, less dangerous, cheaper to use, cheaper to ride. If any crash, you won't damage any bike, right, Toby? He just crashed today.
And was it on this particular bike?
No, that was the other one actually.
But
Yeah.
I looked at the bike and I really can't see, other than the little crash bungs on the axles.
That's it.
That's it. So
Yeah.
good for you, for your business.
Absolutely.
Good for you for not having to write a check for him for his business. And we all still got to ride all day,
Yeah.
which
So.
didn't happen to me when I came off my GSXR at Willow Springs. My day was done.
So yeah, guys, if you want to try it out someday, novice, intermediate, or pro guys, you're more than welcome. We have like the two best track in California, Apex, a racing center, and Adams. So we can be everywhere. Just like book your session, try to bring your friend. That costs you cheaper actually. We're doing a group program. I'm looking forward to see everybody. Cheers, and then thanks to Sean, to Toby, and to all the riders. Ashton Yat, you know, came from like East Coast, especially to ride with us. And yeah, I feel thankful to have those guys, those kids with us, and I'm looking forward to send it.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to seeing your company grow, and we're all a little tired, a little sweaty, but feeling pretty good. So till next time, thanks for watching, and be sure and go to Motorcycle.com for all your moto content. Thanks. Let's go, guys.